Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play Control, the Foundation. Last time, we completed the first of the locks to repair the nail, and then I kinda got lost after talking to Emily, who had showed up down here, trying to find Research Site Gamma. Now apparently, we just have to go back to where we started, which for some reason I didn't try that last time. I tried like every other path to get to Research Site Gamma, but I believe if we go this way, we can actually get there. So I don't know why I couldn't think of that last time. And there being enemies here usually means this is the right way to go. So in between episodes, I went and I managed to complete the Tier 2 expedition, which was surprising, but it really does come down to what randomized traits you get for the mission. Because some of them might not make it necessarily harder, but they slow everything down enough that you run out of time. Yeah, this is where we started, right? Or is this where I tried to go last time? Okay. It's not up there. Did we come down here last time? I mean, it seems like we're going the right way. We're almost there. Look at them trying to be sneaky, even though I'm looking right at them. Alright, I just did shield and then dash, and not shield and dash. Because we do have shield rush now. There we go. It's alright. It doesn't seem super useful, but it's not upgraded yet. Okay, I think we're going the right way. This looks new. Oh, it's one of the Astral versions. Get out of here. Thought I heard something spawn behind me as well. I'm sorry, did I hit something in the air? Must have been one of these stalagmites. Research Site Gamma, okay. So hopefully these 4 locks are not all going to be just the exact same thing of clearing an area in the astral plane.
My life's been a strange one. Certainly stranger than I'd like. But this place, it's something else. The floors crawl, the walls slither. It's a shifting pit. On the street, it's just another drab building standing there for anyone to see. But no one does.
Okay, this is where we came in. I guess we're already here.
Acting director in Northmore.
'Cause yeah, this was the first audio log we found. I just couldn't shatter this stuff before.
Worst I've ever seen is take the nail. End of the world.
So I can't let the hiss take the nail. Not a problem. I know how to handle them.
Good way to summarize that, Jesse. Oh wow, it actually opened the right one for once. When I held
snuck into
G.
the Foundation through a back door, I know. Had to get ahead of the hiss. Just a matter of bypassing the ritual protections. Luckily, the board's as distracted as the rest of the Bureau. I had to put on a brave face up there, but the situation is the worst I've ever seen. We're getting back on our feet, but we've already lost so much. Trench is dead. Darling is...
I mean, she left before we closed the slide projector
I'm
portal,
the only one left.
so there shouldn't still be new hiss coming
But
through.
I still have a job to do. Keep the hiss back. There's not enough HRAs to spare, so I'll have to make do with what I've got. Frankly, I don't even know what will happen if the hiss take the nail. Trench made it sound like it'd be the end of the world. He was never one to exaggerate. Well, orders are orders, even if they come from a dead man.
Thanks, maybe Ghost Marshal. But we kind of already knew that we can't let the hiss have the nail. Alright. There's an astral spike loose in here. See, I was kind of hoping we might see some more weird enemies like this, instead of just astral copies of existing enemies. Oh, there's a locked door down here. This is just a shortcut. Yeah, this is one of the doors I couldn't open before, right? This room doesn't look familiar, though. I don't remember there being a room with a ramp. And there's a treasure chest and a note down there, so I don't think I've been in here. Oh. So here's one of those super annoying named enemies that are the very tanky rock guys. I forget what these are called. There's one of these every single time you do an expedition, and he takes the longest to kill, aside from the boss. Which is just a boss version of the Hiss Distorted. So, you know, you damage it a bit, and then it goes invisible and flies off. I mean, at least here we have a good vantage to just keep pelting him with shit and then backing away. Actually, it also is a good place to snipe him with Pierce. I haven't been using Pierce because, well, mainly because the last expedition I did, the negative trait was a 75% damage penalty for Pierce and Grip. They're like, they know the ones you're going to be using. I can't even get an angle. Jesse can't aim that low. Could just beat him like... Well, now I can't. I was gonna say by possessing him. Just wait until he drops his shield. So yeah, very tedious enemy when they are named. Alright. Adventure accepted. Dearest Mr. Talbot, my heartiest congratulations for achieving something that few others have. Consider my curiosity thoroughly yours. For who wouldn't be intrigued when the United States government claims to need an expert spelunker to explore the depths of a cave the likes of which no man has ever seen? A subterranean channel beneath the very heart of New York City is fascinating in and of itself. I have explored every cave system from Kentucky to Kathmandu, but a formation below America's own Big Apple is a welcome surprise. You are certainly building grand expectations. Do not let me down. I have decided to come see this mystifying cave myself. My assistant will be in touch with the details of my arrival. As requested, I will avoid making an announcement to the press, but I cannot guarantee that my travels will slip past their notice. The world is always waiting for word of Robert Ricardo's next grand adventure. Such is the burden of a globe-trotting man of adventure such as myself. Such is the way of adventure. Such is the way of using the word such too many times. Keep exploring, Bob Ricardo. So that was the guy they said got killed, I think? It wasn't clear if he was killed or just mauled by something down here.
41 days since entry day, the name of our historic arrival to the oldest house. Morale is long dead, and its corpse is starting to smell. My research staff complain of a presence watching them. Many have suffered nervous fits. Some were evacuated. In cheerier news, I've made some new friends.
I'm not sure if Ash is capable of cheerier
I
news.
met them while exploring the deeper caves. They're hard to describe, but imagine avant-garde sculptures of humans. I call them the id. They aren't hostile, In fact, they're polite and quiet, which is more than I can say for my colleagues. Most id are shy, but a few were quite curious. While I sat taking notes, one came to look at my sketches. I offered him my pencil, but that spooked it. What are the id? Residents? Prisoners? They remind me of the golems from Kabbalistic texts, or a type of homunculi. I know I shouldn't, but I gave them names. There's Hercules, Adam, Lilith, Copernicus. Mabel is the bravest. They're a funny bunch.
Alright, so we learned a little bit more about those id that he mentioned before. It sounds like those are just the astral copies that we've been seeing, but with actual personality to some degree. Alright, so it looks like this is just going to be a shortcut back to where we were before. Yeah, so now we don't have to go all the way around from the control point if I die. Alright. I would like to get a second lock completed before the end of this episode, since I didn't really get too much done last time. Okay, so back to the astral spike. Oop, another sniper. Seems like there's more snipers down here than there are in the bureau itself. Okay, we're blocked in here by hiss walls until we kill everything. Ow. I think they're fighting the spike, and it's, you know, fighting them. Alright, here comes another wave. I wish there wasn't so much of this at the very start of this DLC. Because, you know, the combat in this game is fine, but it doesn't really change much, you know. Lift is always going to be our most effective ability. So 90% of combat is just me throwing stuff at enemies. Alright, doors open. So we can go over there. Actually, that looks like the way to go. Chest over here. That's not a chest. That's just a cube. I wonder if I need that for something. Well, let's see, like a cube slot. Also, yeah, I can get up there as well. That connects back to Cave Bleed. Probably just a chest or something up there. Pierce is not great for destroying these. Okay, what's all this then? It's like a typewriter attached to some kind of radio.
Director Faden here. Send backup to my location.
Oh, okay. So this is one of those things that Emily mentioned. So there's radios, and we can call backup. What is this? It seems kind of horrible, whatever it is. And it exploded. Alright. Can you even get down from here, Ranger guy? Where is that sniper? He's like up above somewhere. Oh no, never mind. He's following the beam in the wrong direction. It seems like I never got the option before, but you can actually possess these, and they will heal you. I can barely see anything up here. They are just murdering that guy. Oh no. He's getting healed by my sphere, so he's doing alright. Alright, I can lure them out onto these things and then, you know, drop them in the pit, except they always seem to stop right on the edge. Oh, there goes my orb. That uses so little energy as well. Like, it took such a tiny chunk of my bar. Alright. Somehow this guy is still alive. As your director, I'm making a note here. Huge success. These seem like they're functionally the same to the mold explosives. They're very tryptophobic looking. Alright. So we are actually making some progress into a new area now. Where does this lead? This leads back where we came from. Oh, actually, I think this was the original entrance? Nope. This is blocked by... I can't tell if that's just pure darkness over there. Polaris wants me to go over there. Which means there's probably a control point over here. How did he get down? Did he jump down? Is he just going to teleport to me when I'm not looking? Yep, he teleported. Okay, what's this? Is it just another control point? It's like a primitive looking one. Turns out, too, that this bright red stuff really is just iron oxide powder. I didn't realize how red that stuff is. Okay, so that's dead end. We already got the treasure chest, which means... throw that shit out of here before it blows up in my face. Just gotta head this way. These things are more like pustules than geysers. I'm gonna guess they probably hurt quite a bit if I am standing on them when they go off. Launch ammo refund. Oh, just a little bit of heat damage. You know, it's not like they're superheated or anything. Also, I seem to have lost my ranger. Either he's stuck somewhere or he melted. Deep cavern. Okay. So we've got another one of these
Another
doors here.
etching.
Is this one going to lead me straight to a lock? Because the last time we didn't get one of these until the end of the bleed area. Listen, hurry, meet. Yeah, that's nice. We didn't have to go through a whole battle area on top of what we just did to get to that one. Jolly good, but 2 holes, lollipops are left to...
Hello? Board, are you there?
Board broken. Deeper understand? Tool other new forbidden board. Given former, yours necessary go.
Okay, what the hell is going on? Wait,
So-
I'm back here?
So is the former trying to help?
Wasn't my idea. Blame the eyeball.
Former it/adrift.
Yeah, we've had our differences. But it is giving me something you won't.
Not allowed. Alright, I didn't actually think we'd get this. Kind of made it sound like we'd only get one. Or is it going to reject me? Okay. So now we can do something with this. Pull crystals out of the wall. Which is a cool looking ability, I just kind of figured it'd be nice to have a new form for our gun, which we didn't even end up getting. Do not be ignorant/thick.
I don't like you deciding what I can/can't have.
Jessie's getting sassy with her boss. So we saw a couple of these in the main room where the nail is that we can presumably use to get up to that other area. You are mismanaging the bureau. Okay, how am I supposed to kill you with the spikes if you walk all the way back there? So we now have another type of trap we can activate. What did that? What did I just throw? Whatever it was, it like disappeared. Seems a lot more useful than being able to shatter stuff under their feet. It's a little more immediate. Like the ground traps would be more useful if those crystals were a little weaker than the other ones, instead of having to dump like 5 shots into them.
I'm getting pretty tired of being jerked around the astral plane. If you're listening, I want some answers.
This looks like the former's astral plane, where we fought it before. So maybe we're gonna have a little heart-to-heart this time instead of shooting him in his eyeball. Probably a little sick of that. Why are you so much harder to understand than the board? Is it because Jesse's getting brain blocked by the board? Kind of looks like just a big worm when he doesn't have all his legs. But it looks like they're kind of like folded in. And a little bit of a Kingseeker Framped vibe here.
Hi there. It was nice of you to give me something the board wouldn't. What are you getting out of it?
Ugh, he's so fleshy.
So I'm just supposed to believe you're a particularly charitable, whatever you are? Hungry? I mean, yeah, actually, I'd love a sandwich or something. That's not what you meant, was it?
Right, Panini?
Are you part of the board? Or used to be? Okay, so you split because the board blamed you for... Gotta be easier to play charades. Do I need to rescue someone?
Blank stare.
I don't know what I expected. Listen, this has been great, but I have to go. Thanks for your help, and, stay out of trouble.
Nail, leech, burn, go. Gotta burn the leeches off the nail.
This former trying to tell me about the board. Should I trust either of them?
Well, at least Former's getting a bit more explanation now. Kind of just showed up in the main game. And you're like, well, that was weird. I'm glad that we didn't just have to literally do all 4 of these locks to get some story progress. Been a long time since I've seen one of those bureau alerts pop up like that. Okay, so this is where we were before, right? Yeah, this is Cave Bleed. And there was a door I couldn't reach in here, if I remember correctly. There's a chest way the hell up here. No, the door we couldn't reach is the one I just came out of. Okay, so I guess we don't have an objective right now, do we? Oh no, it unselected again because of the expeditions. Whenever you leave the Foundation, it deselects the mission. Gaining the Shape ability, Jesse is able to access remote areas of the Foundation. Fracture ability, cave system. Completes the ritual found in its depths. Okay, so that's just explaining what we already did. So now we should be able to reach those 2 areas from the nail chamber, it looks like. I kind of wish that you could warp to any control point from where you are. Or, like, at least the central control point for the area, just so you wouldn't have to walk. Because, you know, there's no enemies in this area.
You got this, Director.
Thanks, Foundation Ranger number 2. I noticed you've already replaced your previous Foundation Ranger who may or may not have died already. Alright. So it wants us to go in kind of either direction. The nail looks bigger now, I think, after the second lock. I don't think Emily has anything new to say.
The Rangers found a section of the containment sector in the caves, but no house shifts occur down here. Strange.
Yeah, no, she has nothing new to say.
Agreed. The astral bleed won't stop itself. Don't be a stranger.
So... I wonder, if we had chosen this ability first, would it have directed us this way? Before, you know, sending us to where we needed the destroy ability. I'm not even sure what we can make with these shifting fragments. Because there's no new weapon abilities, or levels. Explosive energy recovery. Is that all that's up here? I don't think I can fit through here. Kinda weird to have go all the way up here for one chest. Where is this door, and why could we not go through it before? Oh, it's up there. That's why. We just needed a little bit of a boost. This leads to warehouse. Apparently there's a warehouse here in this cavern system. Also seems like you need this ability a lot more than the other one. Okay, so what is this room? Is this the warehouse? This is warehouse path. It's weirdly quiet in here. Did I just knock that into its slot with a rock? Complete the ritual in the warehouse. I think I can do that.
This is the director. I need a ranger at this location immediately.
Here he come. My deployed ranger.
Together.
I still don't know what happened to the other one. Just a casualty of the cave. Huh. Is that an elevator shaft going all the way back? I just noticed it. I was gonna say, is that an elevator shaft going all the way back up? And if so, will that lead me into a part of the oldest house? Where did he go? I think he just despawned because they went too far out of this room. You know, at the rate of progress I'm making with those expeditions, I might actually get the expedition outfit before the end of this DLC. Oh, don't stand there, buddy. It's a lot of spikes. Got a bunch of little shacks down here. History of the oldest house. We also got another file on the Astral Spike after the first one showed up. On the history of the oldest house. The oldest house has revealed much to me during my months in the Foundation, but many questions remain. Primarily, the tree etchings bewilder me. What is their significance? If the house has changed shape over its lifetime as I've theorized, then was a tree its first form? I sent a team to the Schwarzman building in search of pre-settlement accounts of Manhattan Island. From those, I discovered a single relevant line, and there I found a tree not known to me, the devil twisted within its bark. That line, taken with the fact that certain American cultures believed some trees would offer wisdom and guidance, is indeed interesting. However, it's hardly firm evidence, and I am now bound to the oldest house. I remain a man of science. Of course, there are numerous ancient beliefs regarding trees. Yggdrasil, the tree of knowledge. Yaximexche. Some cultures offered blood sacrifices to trees, while others claimed trees endowed chosen individuals with inhuman power. Do New York City's many murders act as sacrifice for the oldest house? Does the house have a chosen champion? Is it me? And I like to think that Jesse was literally reading that out as I was. And the guy next to me is just like, huh? Okay, research and records. This should be probably at the bottom. Astral Spike. Field research on astral entity, Astral Spike, confidential. Astral spikes are metastructural entities found in the astral plane. Their existence was first confirmed when a single spike traveled into our dimension through the mind of an astronaut. Astral spikes seem to exist beyond our dimension's physical laws. They do not resemble any living creature or animate object we have yet encountered. They are even dissimilar to astral copies, despite the fact that both originate from the astral plane. The spikes are immensely dangerous, emitting a wavelength that disrupts all organic and inorganic matter in their immediate vicinity, with catastrophic results. Discerning the nature of this wavelength has been difficult for obvious reasons, but the parakinesiology department continues to investigate. So we already got a file on those before, but I think that was a different one. I wonder if we'll get some kind of astral boss at some point. I take it our emergency eye wash station doesn't work. Pyramidic geometry. On the pyramid and geometry, I've been going through my library, researching pyramids and triangles. If that shape does relate to the board, as Northmore says, then perhaps our predecessors in the occult can offer some insight through their geometric knowledge. In esotericism, the triangle is closely associated with the Holy Trinity and other three-part concepts: past, present, future, mind, body, spirit. Interestingly, the term board also implies multiple parts. Upright triangles in Judeo-Christian imagery indicate ascent into the rational divine realm. Inverted, it signifies a descent into the corporeal human. Naturally, the ascent is masculine and the fall is feminine, Adam and Eve. That's just a bit of old world patriarchy. It's 1964 now, and we're well past that silliness. Considering the above, what does the inverted triangle tell us about the board? They're clearly not corporeal or human. Perhaps they wish to be, or they once were. The likeliest answer is simply that theological imagery cannot help us divine alien entities. But still, the pyramid seems significant. Shapes have power, and clearly so does the board. Alright, this is definitely the lore warehouse.
Is this a Bureau ID badge? Looks
Oh.
so old. Hope will definitely want to see this.
We finally got a new side mission. I know there are a couple side missions in this at least. And some more objects that need to be taken back into custody. Or perhaps taken into custody for the first time. Maybe some of these have never been contained by the board or by the bureau. I read the board so many times I start to jump to that instead of bureau. Okay, so we're probably going to end this episode shortly. And I assume that eyewash station actually did have something to do with the ritual, and that's why it's interactable multiple times.
Weird place to leave an ID card, but okay.
I guess Pope just wants us to collect these ID cards. Okay, is there anything up here? Another ID card.
Another ID card. For a cartographer.
A silent cartographer? So, there's a path going up here that I just noticed. Which means there's probably a little secret here. Oh, shit. Balls. Alright, let's try this again and actually do them in order. Let my energy recharge. So, that one, that one, that one. Is there actually any significance to being up here? I think this is where that locked door we saw was. Meteor Hill Summary. Meteor Hill, AWE number 3. Note, per Archival Mandate 8.A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. You notice there's nothing redacted on here. Maybe they weren't doing that originally. This paradimensional occurrence consisted of 3 sequential sinkholes induced by subterranean implosions revealing foreign material of magmatic qualities. Event response. A local chapter of the Youth Science League were participating in an archaeological dig on the hill when the event occurred. Many boys were injured in the resulting collapse. Some touched the magma directly. Bureau agents arrived at the scene 7 days after the incident. Samples of the lava-like material were taken. The area was quickly sealed off from the public at our recommendation. Our aim was to ensure all remnants of the material were rendered inoffensive, but the magma descended too deeply into the earth to retrieve. Foul-smelling odors were detected in the area, which were hypothesized to be the dissipated elements of vapor trail left at the scene. All acquired material was delivered to Washington for examination in the Bureau's on-site laboratory. So presumably then, the Bureau was originally located in Washington.
Another one of those ID cards. Security chief.
Just gonna have a whole pile of these to dump on Emily when we get back.
It's working. It won't go any higher. I wonder if I can charge it up somehow.
Okay. So I suppose completing the ritual here is what's needed to get this thing going, maybe? Or maybe all I needed to do was plug it in.
28 days now.
Oh, hey, you're still here.
Inside what we're calling the oldest house. Northmore insists on the name. I'm too tired to ask why. I'm not sleeping well. Per orders, me and my research team have established a permanent examination lab in the Foundation. I basically live down here now, like the obedient head of research Father raised me to be. I spend my days investigating that odd pillar where Northmore found the handgun. The work was half-hearted at first, I admit. But then I discovered numerous non-Aristotelian energy channels converging at its base. Ley lines, dragon roads, Hylogalinian, call them what you want. But this pillar is the crossroads. I started building something. Equal parts talisman and technology. An array that can impose order on the ley junctions. That's the idea, at least. We'll see when I'm done. I prefer to work away from the pillar. I'm not the only one who feels like that thing has eyes.
I mean, we still haven't found the chamber that was described as being covered in eyes. But hey, at least Ash contributed one useful thing to the Foundation with his control point stabilizers. Alright, bye, Ranger. He's just gonna run into the wall trying to get back to me. I don't know if this is where we just came from. No, we just passed where we came from. Okay. And that's not a charged power core, these are just inert ones. So I guess every time we charge up another one of these, we get another floor. Probably need to take this with me. Power cores. On the invention of the power core. After numerous attempts, I finally found a way to intercept and contain the ambient energy of the ley lines in a kind of non-Aristotelian battery I've dubbed the power core. I admit, it was difficult capturing an energy I can barely measure, much less interact with. Luckily, it seems the porous stone of the Foundation's cavern possesses such conductive quality. Using stone flakes and copper wire, my power cores collect significant power. My early prototypes collected too much, in fact, but I've since reinforced the container. We don't yet know the repercussions of tapping into this power field. As a precaution, these devices should not be taken outside of the house. Ideally, the Bureau should no longer need to rely on typical energy sources. It's my greatest feat of engineering yet. I've always had an interest in invention. I like the creativity that it allowed, set within the firm boundaries of logic and physics. Father never approved, calling it a mundane science. That in mind, I dedicate this invention to Theodore Ashe Sr. May he scowl in peace. You know, I never actually noticed that it tells you who it was written for and by. I remember someone mentioning that the enemy files are written by Jesse, and I never actually saw where they got that from, but notice it now. Alright. Should probably stop. Otherwise I'm just gonna kind of keep going deeper and deeper. Because yeah, now we're kind of getting into some more interesting stuff. After a kind of bit of a cold start for the DLC. Just wondering if there's another generator I need to hook up in here, because it looks like it still can go up.
Entry day plus 51. Northmore has ordered an all-hands search for objects similar to the service weapon. He claims there are more in the house, though I don't see how he's so certain. He's been strange lately, talking about joining greater causes, and frequently mentioning the pyramid. After pressing him, he finally described this pyramid to me. Inverted, black, mathematically perfect.
Now, could he determine it was mathematically perfect?
Adam and the other id have shown me numerous inverted triangles painted on the cave walls. Surely there's a connection. But I don't see it yet. As far as occult symbols go, triangles are by no means rare. Flood, Levi, Kroll, they used that shape like it was going out of fashion. Standing on their base, triangles signify stability and strength. Inverted on their points, they represent conflict and stagnation.
We kind of just read this in his
Of
file.
course, the orientation is just a matter of perspective. Looking at the pyramid from below gives you one, from above another. Northmore says he looks up at the inverted pyramid. I have to wonder, is anyone standing over it, looking down?
Or anything. You know, this is one of those games where I completely forgot you can crouch because you never need to. But you can use it to take cover, sort of. I just don't really take cover, I guess. Okay, it looks like there's nothing else we can do in here right now. So this leads across, and I almost just fell because I had this friggin' menu up. Try this again. Actually get our full height. Okay. So let's run down this hallway, and then we will call it an episode before I delve too deep and too greedily and awake something. Elemental source gain. Alright, perfect. A control point. It's always a good place to leave off. So that'll do it for episode 24 of Control. And, you know, my interest is starting to pick up now that we're getting into the meat of the mystery of what's going on in the Foundation. So until next time, I've been Shadefyre, and I hope you'll investigate with me again. Take care, everyone.